They aren't all bad, right, Mom? You're friends with Megatron.
EarthSpark was something special in Season 1. It had gentle Decepticons, heroic Decepticons, Decepticons with feelings who could learn to become better versions of themselves. It also had manipulative Decepticons, dangerous Decepticons. There was a profound message about judging people for who they are as individuals, not by a label. A message that I think would aid the world right now. The young characters, the human children and the Terrans, who are new robots formed on Earth, interact with the different Decepticons in the show and get to know them. Even the older Autobots who serve as their mentors sometimes showed compassion and mercy to the Decepticons, who only wished to live their lives in peace. And over again, these characters would debate if it is even fair to make generalizations about an entire group.
A planet light years away populated by heroic Autobots and dastardly Decepticons.
Dad, isn't that oversimplifying things a little?
Howdy. It's been too long since I made a video, but I was spurred into action to make this analysis of Season 1 to Season 2 of EarthSpark. Normally, I wouldn't even criticize something until it was done, because as of right now, only a third of Season 2 is out. But Season 2 of EarthSpark already threw away the beautiful writing and themes of Season 1. In fact, the first 3 minutes they did this. Beyond that, the first batch of Season 2 episodes retconned the character development of Starscream which we saw in Season 1, going as far as reinterpreting a kind quote of his, for making him into a totally irredeemable character. That's not all. They did many other characters dirty, stripping them of their good qualities to make them simple villains. This is most baffling when you know Season 1 ended with the Decepticons battling for good and saving the day. Stay with me and I'll show you exactly what complex and intriguing stories we had, which were all thrown in the garbage come Season 2. Now of course I'm going to spoil the heck out of EarthSpark, so this is your last chance to run away. I'm going to go through the episodes and pick out all relevant points and quotes, but just to give you a preview, this is the stance of Season 2 to which I am opposed.
But our truce didn't last forever. Decepticons, remember? Decepticons? You get it.
EarthSpark begins with Megatron working with humans as a good guy, which has never happened in any show before. This likely took inspiration from a comic version of Megatron, the Megatron of IDW Publishing who renounced his cause and joined the Autobots more or less. EarthSpark Megatron works alongside Optimus, although Megatron does not wear the Autobot insignia. He wears the insignia of the human organization known as Ghost, but notice the tiny Decepticon symbol hidden within it. Then in Season 2, Megatron opts for wearing the Decepticon symbol big and purple on his chest, although he remains a good guy. That part of Season 2 actually does match the original theme. EarthSpark never forced Megatron to wear an Autobot symbol, proving that Megatron can be a good Decepticon. If Megatron had the switch insignias, that would destroy the point and prove that you have to be an Autobot to be good. While EarthSpark did Megatron right, and let's hope I don't jinx this, what did they get wrong? Every other Decepticon. Season 1 introduced Decepticons with emotions who struggled to not be caught and imprisoned. Optimus and Megatron, who are tasked with capturing the loose Decepticons on Earth, argue whether it is right to imprison Decepticons or if they should be given another chance.
These Decepticons are criminals.
These Decepticons simply wish to live in peace.
During the fight to capture small Decepticon minicons, Optimus draws powerful weapons like an axe and blaster. Meanwhile, Megatron is reluctant to use weapons and instead clumsily tries to catch the minicons with his hands. Bumblebee brings in restraining bolts to help them subdue the Decepticons, which seem to visibly confuse and scare the Decepticons.
What is happening?
Our hearts are pulled by Frenzy's voice and the look of horror on Megatron's face as the restraining bolts are used.
I will never touch those things. Does it not concern you that our human allies control where Decepticons live? and what form they take, even in times of so-called peace. Get away from him!
He's just doing his job.
They did not deserve a lifetime of imprisonment!
Megatron points out the cruelty of the Autobots and their human allies Ghost in particular. You can see that most certainly, Season 1 was a very grey show, not black and white. Some people prefer grey, morally ambiguous characters and stories, other people love it black and white with clear lines between good and evil. Once you set up a grey story though, to change it does not go without losing all the depth that went into the characters. It no longer makes sense that heroic and emotional Decepticons would suddenly become blunt baddies who love mindless destruction. We must also note that originally, it wasn't the Decepticons who were the villains of EarthSpark. It was of course humans, Dr. Meridian aka Mandroid, a human scientist determined to rid the planet of all Cybertronians, and Ghost, led by the Cold Croft, who supported Dr. Meridian in secret. In fact, the Decepticons are victims of their cruelty, for when they are captured, they are now possible test subjects.
I require test subjects.
Take your pick. They're all disposable.
So Soundwave and his minicons really don't want to be imprisoned. In addition to that, they are angry and feel betrayed by Megatron for joining the enemy's side. Megatron and Optimus feel pity for the minicons, and after the fight is won, they end up letting them go. The emotion in Frenzy's voice once again pulls at the heart as she begs to be let go.
Please let us go!
You will only get 1 second chance.
And you can see that Frenzy does consider not following Soundwave anymore.
We're free now. You don't have to follow him anymore.
Frenzy is not the only one who considered abandoning the Decepticon cause. Novastorm did as well. At this point, Novastorm and Skywarp are working with Dr. Meridian for his protection. However, his abuse makes Novastorm wonder if they could possibly join the Autobots instead. This idea is never revisited.
Why are we still working for Mandroid?
We either find Autobots for him, or Autobots find us for Ghost.
Is it too late to be Autobots?
There is certainly one Decepticon we could deem as good. Tarantulas is a Decepticon scientist in hiding working on a hologram projector so he can blend in with humans. He's a merciful and good-natured bot who wishes no harm on the unaligned intruder to his lab. Tarantulas serves as a role model and mentor for the young Nightshade in this episode, showing kindness and caring to them. Tarantulas refers to the labels of Autobot and Decepticon as being constraining, labels that cause him to be in hiding as much as he wants to be free.
Once this device is complete, I will pass for human. I won't be bound by constrictive labels like Autobot or Decepticon anymore.
Tarantulas is a Decepticon without violent tendencies who never wanted to fight. He only wants to survive.
I never chose to fight, Nightshade. I chose to survive. And now, I'm choosing to live.
But, unfortunately, Tarantulas is lumped in with all other Decepticons and generalized.
You're abducting humans now, huh? Typical Decepticon. No, Bumblebee.
Tarantulas only did this because he thought he was protecting me.
Oh look, the theme of Season 1 is painted out super clear.
Well, Decepticons aren't inherently good or bad. Who they are depends on their character and actions.
What did Season 2 say again?
Decepticons, remember? Decepticons? You get it.
You see what I mean? How was Season 1 so adamant about individuality and having empathy for the Decepticons, just to throw it all away in Season 2? And not even finished showing the complexity of Season 1 Decepticons. Next we have Breakdown, who is presented as a relaxed, easygoing bot who only made some bad choices according to Bumblebee. Bumblebee is this Decepticon's friend despite their different allegiances. They care for each other. Before they can race each other, Ghost rushes in to capture them. Breakdown wanted nothing more than to stay hidden and keep his freedom, but he lets himself get captured so that Bumblebee could escape. Breakdown drove into the enemy, took shots for Bumblebee, and literally threw Bumblebee to safety. Have a look at Breakdown and tell me that he is a bad guy.
Breakdown? Breakdown!
And this is in fact the second time a Decepticon sacrificed their safety and freedom so that others could escape. Tarantulas, who worked so hard to stay hidden, draws Ghost's attention so Nightshade isn't caught.
So you're hiding too? All of you? Get your family to safety. I'll lead them away.
But tarantulas!
Please, if this is my second chance, let me take advantage of it.
Including bad guys helps the message of judging people for their own actions, not by labels. Swindle was a bad guy for manipulating children, threatening them, and attacking them. Shockwave was also a bad Decepticon who was willing to use an army of child robot soldiers. He was also vocally racist to the Terrans.
Abominations. Accidents of the Emberstone.
These Terrans are the new path to the future.
You think you can just start over with these lower-class hybrids?
But on the whole, we are still supposed to feel empathy for the Decepticon faction. In another episode, Bumblebee is distraught over the state of Brawl, a Decepticon he fought in an arena. This arena is run by cruel humans who want to watch bots fight each other for their entertainment, and Decepticons go there hoping to win Energon to survive. Decepticons that lose are drained of Energon and used for spare parts, with Brawl's arm even being hacked off by Dr. Meridian. Both Dr. Meridian's arms came from Decepticon captives. Although as a side note, I still wonder how his body manages to support that weight. But back to the point, Bumblebee was caring, not cold, to Brawl, and all the Terrans looked on in sadness for how Brawl had been treated. Ghost was also revealed to be behind the cruel arena fights, so when you can see how poorly the Decepticons are treated by Ghost in Season 1, you understand why they fight so desperately to not be captured by them. You can see why they hate Megatron for working with them.
We offer you a peaceful life.
Yeah, in prison!
Sorry, Optimus.
Rewatching What Dwells Within reminded me just how much kinder Starscream was written in Season 1. Starscream starts off as selfish, abandoning other Decepticons to save himself, but he expresses his view later. He believes that others abandon him too. That's why he looks out for himself, expecting that no one else will.
We can't leave everyone else?
Of course we can. They were clearly willing to abandon us.
That's not true.
Hashtag rescues Starscream and doesn't get a thank you for it, but he will have a change of heart soon. When Starscream is about to threaten hashtag, she points out that Starscream is mirroring Megatron's past abusive leadership style. She identifies that Starscream is a victim, which makes Starscream feel cared about. With his heart, or spark, warmed, he stops being selfish. When they believe that the Dweller is about to attack, watch how Starscream steps in front of the child and makes a protective hand motion. And when the Dweller grabs hashtag, Starscream is distraught and puts himself in direct danger to protect her.
Hey! You want me? Hashtag, get out of here!
Those are beautiful moments. They are heroic without a doubt. Starscream even helps hashtag out of the water, smiling. The episode ends with Starscream kindly telling hashtag to take care of herself.
Hashtag, remember to take care of yourself.
Starscream has kindness within him, and anything bad he did before was done for self-preservation. We clearly see that Megatron is overly harsh to Starscream, where he seems to want to smite Starscream on sight. Thankfully, Megatron is a better person now and lets Starscream go free, likely after witnessing Starscream's good deed that day. Okay, I was just calling Shockwave bad, but then Shockwave gets used as a slave to Dr. Meridian's technology and the Terrans decide to save him. After that, Shockwave is calm and no longer spouting his racist crap. He starts helping them and fights alongside Megatron. The Decepticons respond really well to kindness, and then all the Autobots and Megatron fall under the mind control technology. Who saves the day at the end of Season 1? Every Decepticon who had been shown kindness shows up and pays it back. First, when the Decepticons are released, they refuse to save Earth because Earth had treated them so badly. But then they have a change of heart. Decepticons respond very well to kind treatment and show gratitude. The Decepticons with the kids and Terrans kick ass and save the world.
The news spread quickly of what you and your family did for Decepticons tonight. So, we're here to return the favor.
Decepticons, remember? Decepticons.
All of this is lost in Season 2 and makes me very disappointed. It also makes me feel that this is pretty disrespectful to what writers had written for Season 1. I once praised EarthSpark for this episode as writing the most complicated but good Starscream all Starscream fans wanted. I can't praise it now. Gosh, I can just imagine how upsetting this could have been for May Cat. She wrote that awesome Starscream episode and now seems to be absent from the team at the start of Season 2. I would be angry if I wrote a story just for someone else to completely throw away what I was going for. They do Starscream and the Decepticons dirty in the first 3 minutes of Season 2.
The Decepticons helped us for a minute since, we freed them from ghost jail and saved their lives. Shout out to Aderin.
But our truce didn't last forever. Decepticons, remember? Decepticons, you get it. So it's our job to collect all the pieces, put the stone back together, and keep it in the hands. We still don't know what Starscream is planning, but we're pretty sure he's up to no good. Obviously.
Obviously? What do you mean, obviously? It was in character for Starscream to be good. There you have it though. The switch was made just to make the Decepticons baddies. Breakdown advertises them as just good old chaos lovers.
Whoa, don't fire! I'm on your side, okay? You want to smash more Maltos, right? You want more mayhem, right? My crew's full of bots like you. Come on, kid. Roll with us.
Remember Breakdown? The very easygoing hero who sacrificed himself for Bumblebee? Yeah, roll with us, our punk-ass gang full of punk-ass people. So yeah, out of nowhere, the Decepticons go from just wanting to live in peace to actively wanting to reform the planet into New Cybertron. Okay. Also, why is Skywarp spouting the Terran racism now?
You're not even Cybertronian! Coming through! Neither of those bratty kids!
All the Decepticons were over it before. The Terrans saved their asses. Gosh, I just can't. Yeah, the Decepticons being bad now is a real douche move from all of them. They had peace, what they always wanted. Their oppressors, Ghost, are gone. They are working with the Autobots, uncaged, unthreatened. The Decepticons have been helped by humans and Terrans, so they can already understand that not all humans are evil. Okay, so the turn on them out of nowhere, the Decepticons are irredeemable jackasses. Except for Tarantulas, I guess, who, so far, was fortunately spared getting lumped in with this. The scene of Breakdown wanting to be Aftermath's dad was funny, but remembering that Breakdown was a friendly, heroic Decepticon, it didn't seem right to show him kicking his son. That was just the show saying that Decepticons can't be affectionate. No, they're Decepticons. They wrestle and fight constantly. Grrr. Honestly, why do this to them? Why not just introduce the Quintessons as the outside threat that the Decepticons could help the good guys against? I know Cyberverse went this way, and it was very cool, but the same idea can be expressed very differently here. It already was starting off unique with the new design and the pod being opened on Earth. I have mixed feelings about the mushroom episode because I love dark moments, but it was also distressing for me, an adult, to hear animals getting murdered and eaten with these horrible squelching sounds. Also, the ugliness cannot be understated in this merging. But in this episode, Aftermath builds trust with Jawbreaker and seems to develop positive feelings. You almost think Aftermath is going to have Season 1 style character developments, but nope. Aftermath full-on betrays Jawbreaker. Yep, Aftermath is just evil. Chaos Terran gonna chaos, says Twitch.
Yeah, Chaos Terran's gonna chaos.
Aftermath steals all the cave water. Yeah, people will be saying, but the Chaos Terrans are made of corrupt pieces of Emberstone, so of course they're bad. I'm saying that it was a bad idea for the story, especially if the Chaos Terrans end up being fixed later on to have green Emberstone sparks. Spitfire is the second Chaos Terran. Some characters show distrust upon her arrival, comparing her to the violent Aftermath. But Spitfire is given a chance, which almost aligns with the original theme of giving people chances. Except Spitfire is as bad as they feared because it's just her nature. Besides the loss of themes and messages and the butchering of some characters, there are some other issues that made Season 2 feel like lower quality. I'm still focused on the story, not the animation. Firstly, there can be a huge disconnect between episodes. In Season 2 Episode 5, Aftermath steals Terran's special water supply, the fuel they need to survive. Yet there's never a consequence to this. The Terrans never starve like they did in Season 1. It's like they didn't lose their fuel supply. In the next episode, no one is trying to get the special cave water back, no one is suffering from fatigue. In fact, they run an athletic competition, which would use a lot of fuel. They just seem to survive just fine. If they had another cave of water, it's not mentioned. Another wild thing is it almost looked like Wheeljack died. See, there was this weapon that the Autobots were saying could kill someone, and then the imposter shoots Wheeljack with it. He falls over ice black. This weapon was used in Season 1 and bots survived it, but you would expect the next episode would show Wheeljack's recovery. I expected Twitch would either be relieved about his recovery or mourning his loss. But the next episode is like, la la la, we're gonna watch Optimus's trailer. It's the silliest episode and seems so misplaced. It makes me wonder if it was released in the wrong order. The Decepticons just stole a dangerous weapon and no one is concerned in the next episode. It's really wild, and the Decepticons have nothing better to do than destroy a trailer for fun. I'm not saying that Season 1 was perfect either. It had its own consistency issues, like when Ravage is released into the prison, like, Ravage is a free cat and does nothing to release the Decepticons. The Decepticons only get released by hashtag later on, so I don't know what on earth Ravage was doing with her time. What happens with Starscream at the end of this story arc is what made me sure I could make this video now. Starscream traps 2 young bots with him so he can tear out their life force. At this point, I gave up and was just laughing at Spitfire getting killed because she was such a jerk. Like, what can I do? There's no justifying Starscream now. He literally killed 2 kids while smiling and laughing about it. He has no other goals but domination and destruction. And before, Starscream risked his safety to save hashtag, but now he has zero concern for her safety at all. That lovely line he gave her before is just retconned, twisted to take on a new selfish meaning. Don't you agree? This is just a retcon?
Hashtag, my advice was, remember to take care of yourself, which is exactly what I am doing. Remember to take care of yourself.
You know that's not what the original intent was. You know! The whole point of Season 1 was every evil character was evil from their own choices. No label made a villain. There were humans, some good, some evil. Dr. Meridian and Croft chose to be evil. There were good Decepticons like Tarantulas, Breakdown, and Starscream, and bad ones like Swindle and Shockwave. Season 1 was against generalizations. Season 2 generalizes everything. And which really teaches a better lesson? In our world where people still group others and demonize them, was Season 1's lesson not better? To teach kids to judge the actions of individuals? To not blindly hate a group? We learned that Dr. Meridian was wrong to hate all Cybertronians without discernment. We learned that it was wrong to distrust all Decepticons. We learned that kindness can heal and bring out the good in others. Now kindness wins over no more hearts. If you're good, you're good. If you're bad, nothing can be done. That's what Season 2 has decided, and it's no wonder many fans are disappointed. That may just be it for Season 2, but we shall see.
Symbiosis. I can feel it!